Right, so 700 migrants cross channel in 3 days, and Boris warns of legal eagles are circling. Basically, Rwanda plan at risk from left-wing lawyers. And I've only just been handed this story, but I mean, what could have possibly gone wrong has gone wrong. People are saying, he's trying to block migrants from coming to the UK on boats. And after he announced, this was announced, 300 more came. So it's not actually deterred them.
Well, this was the big question, because when the Rwanda plan was introduced, people were saying, well, this will definitely stop people because they're going to come in and get shipped away straight away. Yeah. But now, looking at these figures, I mean, what are they saying? 700 in 3 days? That does seem like
I never know whether to believe these figures, because 700... So you see, I think the problem is actually with our relationship with France. Because
that's always been a problem, to be fair.
Yeah, that is the problem. That is the problem. It's negotiate. Stop giving millions to Rwanda, where you're just kind of trying to brush the problem under the carpet, or the migrants under the carpet. It's France. Negotiate with them. They're letting these migrants through, and I think passive-aggressively, deliberately, I do not see these people, and they're just turning a blind eye, right? They're turning a blind eye, and they're letting them get. They're probably supplying the dinghies as well, quite frankly.
This is conspiratorial stuff. Yeah. Eric, do you think there's something to this? Do you think there's an issue there?
I do agree with her on the French, but I mean, these aren't migrants; these are asylum seekers, and that's who we're dealing with here. People that are legally seeking asylum. They don't have to stop at the first country they go to, because there may be reasons why those countries aren't welcome. Those countries at the moment are full of Ukrainian refugees, and so they are legally going through a process. Now, shipping them off to Rwanda was always going to be dodgy, and there's a number of people who thought that he wanted to announce it. It was hastily put together, and his hope was to have some lefty lawyers come out. I think when the lawyers are against him, they're lefty, and I mean, he's had a lot of lawyers against him.
OK, but you say that these are all asylum seekers, no economic migrants there. I've heard reports that contradict that. There's a lot of people who are predominantly young men who are coming here. I mean,
they can be asylum seekers as young men.
Yeah, absolutely. But not that I'm saying there's anything wrong with economic migrants. But is there not the possibility that a lot of people are economic migrants in this situation?
That's what the asylum process should take care of, if it was done expeditiously. And that's the problem that they're having here, is they haven't been able to get through the applications, and that's why they're stocking up. And the next story we're going to talk about is where they're struggling to put people, just not even in Rwanda. So I think the problem is in the processing of people, not necessarily the answer is sending them to a third country.
So, Gila, do you think that there is an issue here, insofar as the Conservatives probably have to do something? Priti Patel is saying that the reason she wants to rehouse people in Rwanda is because this is a way to disincentivise the people traffickers, those who would exploit.
It hasn't worked, has it? And the thing is, it's not going to work, because even before Brexit, I remember going on the Eurostar and seeing, migrants literally, trying to hold on to the Eurostar to get through. These are desperate people. If you're doing that, if you're going on dinghies that could, and you're taking your small children, that is a desperate situation. So, just on a humanity side of things, you need to look at it and think, why are they doing this? And sort the problem maybe further back, rather than sort of, well, they've arrived here, let's chuck them into Rwanda, or, as you say, the story that's coming up, and deal with it in that way. And all this kind of the rhetoric we've got around it is what I really, really don't like it. That they're just vile people who are just coming over, taking all the jobs, all the houses, whatever, and that we can't. Just look at the problem. Why are they coming? Where are they coming from?
In terms of that rhetoric, I mean, that's basically the degradation of the whole discourse. You've got the idea that, as you say, there's some very kind of pernicious rhetoric that surrounds it. But by the same token, people who raise concerns about the degree of immigration are often dismissed as being racist or xenophobes. I mean, that's surely not fair either, is it?
No, I think you can have a discussion, but you know who is always absent from these discussions? The migrants themselves, the refugees themselves, the immigrants themselves.